NBA Final, Game 6. 65,000 fans packed in the Deer District to cheer on the Bucks. And Giannis Antetokounmpo with a legendary performance indeed. 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 massive blocks. Giannis's 50 points are tied for the most in a finals clinching win in NBA history. He joins Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players to win MVP, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year. Milwaukee wins their first NBA championship since 1971 in a 105-98 win over the Suns. Giannis is the 6th player to record at least 3 40-point games in a single NBA final. And in the last 50 years, only 2 players have scored 33 points and a half in a finals game, him and Michael Jordan. My goodness, what a moment for the Greek Freak. What a moment for the Bucks organization.
What a moment for family business. Giannis Antetokounmpo FaceTiming with his brother Thanasis, who's on the team, unfortunately, was in the COVID protocol and so couldn't be in the arena with his squad, but that didn't stop his brother from making sure that they went live on the gram here. That's how you can tell these guys grew up in the internet age right there.
Yeah, did not limit the FaceTime to just the two of them. Let the world see it. Let the world see y'all gloat. I love it. I love
Content,
it
it never stops. God love these two.
Winner, Black Air Force One. Now, the Black Forces that went to work for him, they're reserved for the most dastardly of deeds. But it's his Game 3. The Greek Freak has worn his, and Milwaukee ran up on Phoenix like they had something that was rightfully theirs. And it proved to be the case because they rattled off 4 straight wins since he wore those walking into Game 3. It is scary when a man wears those willingly.
Who else wants some of Debo?
No.
Loser, the long way to Tokyo.
No. Oh, no.
Because just after losing 4 straight games in the NBA Finals to the Bucks, Devin Booker now gets to hop on a plane and fly 19 hours to Tokyo to be a part of Team USA with Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday on that flight.
Mina Khan said Drew Holiday go take his arm rest.
Cold-blooded.
Winner Achilles Steel. Now, the Greek Freak, Greek mythology, Achilles being the Greek hero that winds up leading to his demise because of his Achilles heel. Well, the heel became a steal for Greek Freak. 17 for 19 from the free throw line. This man was absolutely cash. I think I was on this program the other day, Arta, saying that he wasn't going to make less than 5. Like, it was a problem for him.
Winner in this one, Love Thee.
Congratulate you guys as a man and a coach. You guys deserve it. And I'm thankful for the experience. You guys made me a better coach. You made us a better team. Congratulations.
That is Suns head coach Monty Williams and proud Notre Dame Fighting Irish Hoops alum showing some love to the opposing team here. Monty Williams, his passion and connection with his team's been on full display, but I really think this moment in the opposing team's locker room with the Bucks really cements his status as an athlete.
Unbelievable. Just an absolute gem. Loser, the curse that is Scott Foster officiated games that continues for Chris Paul. Now 12 straight postseason L's that CP3 has experienced when he shared the floor with Scott. I am not here to spread wild boy conspiracy theories, but we're really towing the line of correlation and causation right about now. It's like, it's getting dicey, Mike.
I appreciate Bobby Portis trying to stop him from going directly at Scott right there. He understood what was at stake here.
Yes, indeed, the Bucks are NBA champions, and to talk more about it is NBA analyst and insider Tim Legler. Tim, let's talk about the man we just saw a lot in those highlights, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had another monster game. He's the Finals MVP. In your opinion, what does this do to his legacy among the NBA greats?
Yeah, look, he's a guy now that has erased all of the things that people talked about with Giannis in terms of weaknesses, in terms of doubts. A lot of people felt like the last 2 years in the postseason, after having the best record in the league, that Giannis was a big part of why they were not able to get it across the finish line because he was an incomplete player offensively. So there was a lot coming into this season. And one thing I love about Giannis, he has never run from it. He has owned the setbacks. He has faced the adversity. He's been back in the gym the next day after the season ends. He comes back better, stronger, more determined. And he has answered the bell. So for me, those 2 failures in the postseason now, they get thrown in the shredder. This guy has reached the apex of what it is to be an NBA player. He's accomplished a resume that no other player this young has ever accomplished. When you talk about a 5-time All-Star, 5-time All-League, 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA champion, Finals MVP. This, to me, is the culmination now. He's at the apex of his career, and most importantly for me, how many athletes get to have their greatest game on the biggest night of their careers? I mean, nobody really gets to have that kind of a moment, and that's really what he just did. I've never seen Giannis Antetokounmpo have a night in which he demonstrated a greater combination of power and finesse. When you look at not just the free throws, which obviously that's just such an anomaly for him to have that kind of a night with that kind of pressure on his shoulders, but also the runners, the floaters, the push shots, the jumpers, everything he did on a night in which his next two best offensive players really struggled the entire game. He put an entire city, team, franchise on his back and got this thing across the finish line. What a sense of relief he must have to be an NBA champion now because of all the work that he's put into this.
And like you said, Les, he was ready to get right back into the gym. He said it in the trophy ceremony. Like, he's ready to get right back to another championship. Now, on the other side of this is Chris Paul, who once again misses out on the Larry O'Brien trophy. Legs, where does he go from here?
Well, man, it's tough because you look at a guy at 36 years old who already was a Hall of Famer before the last two seasons. If Chris Paul had retired before he played for Oklahoma City 2 years ago, he's obviously going to the Hall of Fame. And instead, what has he done here at the end of his career? He's taken two teams that had no business being as good as they were. One Oklahoma City Thunder team, a very young team, and then now the Phoenix Suns. This was not supposed to be a team that ended up in the NBA Finals, and in large part to his leadership, his clutch play, his ability to make guys better around him. He gets a team to the NBA Finals. And is he going to be able to replicate that next year? The landscape, unfortunately, in the Western Conference for the Phoenix Suns is going to look a lot different if you assume the Lakers come back healthy, the Clippers get Kawhi Leonard back healthy, the Denver Nuggets get Jamal Murray back healthy. You've got teams like Dallas, which is on the rise now with a coaching change and a superstar in Luka Doncic. The Jazz had the best record in the West. Haven't even gotten to the Blazers. Like, the Western Conference landscape is so difficult. I don't know if we can see the Suns back in this place again. So for me, this might be the one finals appearance Chris Paul will end up with in his career. But I do think the last 2 years have taken his level of reverence to a completely different level because he's a guy that was always respected. But now you look at what he did with two teams and overachieving based on his leadership and his play. I think he is cemented now as one of the all-time great point guards. And after Magic Johnson, start having that debate about who the second best point guard is in league history. Chris Paul deserves a spot in that conversation.
So, Legs, you talk a lot about next year, and because we can never just focus on the moment here, we're going to put you on the spot as it pertains to both of these teams, young, talented. More likely for you next year that we see either, neither, or both of these teams back in this final stage?
Well, I think it would be clearly more likely to see the Bucks. I think, first of all, it's just not as difficult at the top of the Eastern Conference. Now, look, they're going to run into some of the same things I just mentioned about the Suns. You are going to get, let's assume, a healthy Brooklyn Nets trio coming back next year. If that's the case, it might be a foregone conclusion that that team ends up in the NBA Finals. But the Milwaukee Bucks confidence level after breaking through is going to be completely different. They're going to shed a lot of the stress that they've played with the last couple of seasons. There's going to be a sense of relief. And I think now you're going to see a more relaxed team going forward with immense talent and now a camaraderie and a belief and trust in each other that they're good enough to get the whole thing done. The Milwaukee Bucks, this might be the start of a run for them despite what Brooklyn comes back with, because of their ability now to break through and their belief in each other that they have enough to be NBA champions. This might just be the first taste for a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo to get this team back and have a string of championships coming up.
Tim Legler joining us here on Sports Nation. Legs, always appreciate you being here.
My pleasure, guys.